A lot of people watching this video will not be able to drive the ball as far as the best players in the world, and they might not be able to hit their iron shots as close to the pin. However, putting is a bit of a leveler, and nobody wants to three-putt. Well, today you're in luck because we've enlisted the services of one of the best putters in the world.
I'll take that.
That is a fact.
I'll take that, thank you.
Lucas Herbert from Ripper GC. You and Cam Smith are constantly battling at #1 and #2 spot in putting statistics here on LIV Golf.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I can be compared to Cameron Smith's putting, for fellow teammate there, it's never a bad day if we're in the same conversation, I think.
However, I've heard you are deadly from 5 feet and you're a very aggressive putter,
okay.
But you also work your socks off. Like, you practice your putting, as well as Cam does, a lot. But what I want to share with the audience today, 3 points to avoid three-putting. And we're going to start off with the short one, the knee knocker, the one that nobody likes.
Yep.
This kind of 4 foot, 3 foot. Talk to the audience what your process is over a putt like this.
I mean, like you said, I do a lot of work in practice. So I had a lot of, like 5 foot's kind of my practice range. So I kind of just, every putt I kind of liken it to the putts that I have. Obviously you've seen the sort of, the tees around the hole in a clock face.
To give the audience a context there, you'll do a lot of practice where you'll put how many tee pegs around a hole?
So it's 12 tees, so you think of it like a clock face. So a straight uphill putt would be from 6 o'clock,
yeah.
Straight downhill from 12 o'clock. And then you kind of just reference where you are on the clock face to this putt here. So I've had a very brief read of this, but this looks slightly left to right. So for me, this is probably like a 7 o'clock putt. So I
love that.
Yeah, so I kind of know that like it's going to do a little bit left to right, and I'll probably look for the line that it's like, it's almost, if you get it started on that line, it can't miss. You know, yeah. Even if you get the read a little bit wrong or you get the speed a little bit off, it kind of can't miss. So for me, a 7 o'clock putt, we hit something.
Love that.
You can see a little chip in the paint, just in there. I'd be looking at that little spot there, which is sort of, I think traditionally you'd call that inside left.
Yeah.
Be looking at that spot, and for me, that shouldn't go left, so it should never really miss.
So I think a lot of people can learn from that. Like, you're aiming for something tiny there.
Yeah.
Like, the hole is the hole, but you're picking a point that's like a tenth of the size, okay?
Yeah.
So you know this is a 7 o'clock putt, and I'll explain that in diagrams a little bit more on this video. And then once you're then getting into your setup, do you go through a pre-shot routine? Do you visualize? Do you line the ball up? What's that process from here?
So I refuse to line the ball up.
Okay.
So if I'm lining a ball up from actually marking it, I'll put it down like this, where
totally blank.
I can see the least amount of logos possible. So I want nothing that can give me any sort of alignment aid.
Okay.
I say I picked that point, but for me, like, I wouldn't even, I just know it's a 7 o'clock putt. I wouldn't aim necessarily anywhere. For me, I just kind of see the shape of the putt, the shape of like a tiny little left to right. And then, I mean, my pre-shot routine is kind of get over it to feel comfortable. It's going to be about there somewhere. And just almost like my last swing thought would literally just be like, be athletic.
Right.
So like, I don't want to get caught up here in what the stroke looks like or how it rolls or it's literally just be athletic. Like, I know how to hold this putt, just get out of your own way.
And what about, like, are you visualizing the ball going in the hole? Anything like that?
Probably, I mean, if you're visualizing anything, it's more like a little bit of the strike.
Okay.
Just that feeling of the putt coming off the face. If anything, rhythm. Just like literally rhythm in everything. So like not taking it away too fast or too slow or trying to manipulate stuff, just literally just like letting everything sort of freely swing. I guess, like, you ever seen an old grandfather clock where the things just sort of...
I love that.
Just really feeling like you're just matching that rhythm there.
I know, no practice putting stroke?
Yeah, so we'll go, so this will be me here, just kind of looking at the hole, looking at, imagining how the ball's rattling around in the hole.
Yeah, I love that.
Get over it, we're about...
You got your 7 o'clock read.
We're about right there.
You're aiming small.
And now it's just like...
Can't miss it.
And it does, I mean, it's also not really a perfect science. That hasn't hit the middle of the hole.
I mean, it's not far off, Lucas.
It's not far, but the hole, like, you don't have to hold this in the middle of the hole every time. And that's kind of my point with the 7 o'clock read is like, if it's somewhere on the left half of the hole, if you're decent enough at reading the greens, you'll know it'll never go left. If your speed's good enough, it's always going to find enough hole to go in.
Okay, so we've nailed the short ones. And it was interesting there, just off camera, Lucas, you were saying to me, I'm probably the worst for this because I don't think that much. The amount of gold you just given there was incredible. And I know you might not kind of appreciate that, but like all the things you take for granted, a lot of viewers will go, oh, that's a great thing. Like aiming small or having that idea of knowing which slope is this is great.
It was interesting. I had a conversation with Leash yesterday, Mark Leishman, and I've had the same conversation with Cam. As like, obviously, like you very nicely put it, Cam and I bounced between 1 and 2 in the putting rankings. We both think about putting incredibly different. So Cam picks a spot outside the hole. Like let's say this putt's going to break a foot right to left. He picks a spot 1 foot outside the hole and hits a straight putt.
At that point.
If you gave me a starting line for a putt, I would never hole another putt in my life.
Really?
For me, I see shapes, I see the way like the apex and the ball, you know, where it enters the hole, that kind of stuff. And like start lines mean absolutely nothing to me. So it's so funny that and Leash is exactly the same too. It's so funny that we're actually all 4 of us on the team, Jones as well, very good putters, and we all do it so differently.
Team Ripper are the best putters, statistically.
Well, we don't hit a lot of fairways, so we kind of have to make up for it somewhere.
Does Cam line it up? If he's a bit more straight to a point?
I'm not sure whether he lines it up or not, actually.
He might have to ask him. Right.
I wouldn't surprise me if he does, though.
So this now, again, this is one of those putts where obviously we definitely don't want to 3-putt this.
Yep.
But from out on the golf course, most golfers are looking to hole this. How does your process change as we get a little bit further away, or does it change a lot?
Not a whole bunch. So again, not a big sort of start line picker. So I might kind of look at something that's along the line of the putt. So for me, the greens are actually in great shape. There's not a lot to actually pick out. There's a little spike mark just here that's kind of a good reference. So I'm going to look at that and probably think, almost running visualizations in my head. If I roll it over that spike mark, where does it go?
Yeah.
Okay, it probably misses a little right. Okay, cool, just inside that spike mark. And then almost intuitively you match the speed to that.
So you don't aim point?
I mean, I can do it. Sometimes I do it to sort of feel, especially if I've got a very flat putt, just to try and feel if I've got anything left to right or right to left. But I wouldn't look at this and go, it's a 1% slope or a 2% slope. And
from this, you're very kind of eye level. I've not noticed you crouch down at all, like from here. Do you get low down?
I will a little bit. One I like to do actually is read it from under the line of the putt. So this is a right to left putt. So I quite like to read it from this point here.
Love that.
And almost like, you know, when you're watching someone in match play and you watch them hit a putt and you're like, that looks a little right or that looks a little left. You start almost imagining, if I was playing myself in match play, where would I not want to see this ball rolling? Yeah. Oh, it's just really strangely, that's almost how I visualize it. So read it from under the line, and that's a particularly good one as well on Bermuda greens, when you've got a little bit of grain in them. I find that quite useful. So yeah, I'm kind of looking.
I know your level here, you want to hold this 100%.
Yeah.
For our wonderful audience, they obviously no more than 2 putts from here. How much then do you focus on pace from this kind of length?
It's basically all pace.
Right.
So what I would say is we're at 15 feet, a tour make rate, average make rate, we're going to be somewhere close to high 30%.
So it's not
one
at all.
One in 3.
And I think interestingly for the viewer as well, I think as they watch professional golf on a Sunday in a tournament, a lot of these putts get holed.
They do, and
as a whole, they don't. It's only 30%.
It's also tour average. The guys that you're seeing late on Sunday, they're not average, are they? They're winning the tournament. They're going to be above all your averages for the week, especially with putting. So, and I think too, it's like this is not a perfect surface. Like no golf green is a perfect surface. So you could get a ramp, like a perfect putter here, and roll 5 or 6 balls down exactly the same. Not all of them are going to go in, especially from 15 feet.
Exactly.
So I think that's probably the first thing that you need to get, that I get in my head particularly, is like this needs to get a little lucky to go in. I can hit a great putt.
No guarantee, is there?
I can hit a great putt and this cannot go in. And also, the speed is kind of everything here. If you can get the speed as consistent as you can, that's going to be your best chance of holding this putt.
So with that in mind, does your practice putts change at all here, or do you go through the same process back there?
Pretty similar. I might to be honest, I don't even know, but I might be a little different with how I visually look at the putt. Yeah. So we were talking about controversial topics off camera. My hill that I'll die on that's controversial is I don't care if I leave this putt short. Never up, never in is the worst bit of golf advice you can ever receive, in my opinion.
We've had Scott Fawcett on the channel.
I've had plenty of chats with Scott about this same topic.
And he's very much along the same lines, that you don't have to get it past the hole, because 3 foot past the hole is worse than 1 foot short of the hole.
In some ways, yes. Definitely in some ways, yes. I just think, if I stood you in the fairway at 170 yards, would you go, we need to hit 172 to make sure it has a chance to go in?
No.
Like, you'd never think of it.
165 is perfectly fine.
No one ever thinks about, like, oh, well, if you're 170 out in the fairway, you're not trying to not hole it.
No.
You're trying to hit a great shot close. But for some reason we get on the greens and all of a sudden we have to hit it 2 feet by to make sure it has a chance to go in. I don't buy into that. You're going to miss some putts short, you're going to miss some putts long,
and that's okay.
Some left, some right. There's just no point in skewing your dispersion by trying to hit it 2 feet past the hole.
What is interesting, what I have noticed, is every time you've done a practice putt, you're looking at the hole.
Pretty much. I mean, like I said, from this point,
even just when you stood there, you were practicing and just looking at the hole.
From this point, it's speed. So you're trying to match. You know, Tiger talks about putting to a picture. Like, it's pretty much that. You're trying to match. You know, you're trying to get a really good feel of the speed on this putt. It's going to be somewhere right to left. It could be a cup. It could be 2.5 cups. I'm not 100% sure, but if I can get the speed right, that's going to give it the best chance to go in.
Okay, let's see it. Watch and learn. One of the best putters in the world. Watch how he does this.
So same thing again. Same as a 5 footer. We just want to stay really athletic. We're not getting caught up in what's happening here. It's just we're seeing what's happening out there.
Take the break.
So I'm not mad about that putt. To be fair, I've hit a pretty good putt. The speed's great. It just didn't do what I thought it did. From 15 feet, pretty hard to read it right every time. That's a good putt.
Silly question. The torque is miss on the pro side. You've missed there on the pro side. The high side, do you take any credit? Do you take any value in that, in the fact you over-read it and under-read it?
No, I think it's similar to the argument of you miss short or you miss long. It's just you miss the putt. It doesn't matter where. We don't have this conversation with an 8-iron. We don't go, oh, the pros miss it long, not short, or you miss as a miss. So
you miss as a miss.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go and do. But the good thing is you're never going to 3-putt that.
Correct. And I think particularly too, if you're playing on some sketchy power greens that, you know, maybe in the middle of winter when they've got some lumps through them, they're pretty easy to knock in and they take a lot less mental stress than one that's that far that you've got to sweat over a little bit more.
Exactly. Right, last but not least, let's do a really long putt. I'm guessing from this range, certainly on fast greens, you'll see a lot of amateurs 3-putt this.
Yeah, well, I mean, on fast greens, everyone's going to 3-putt from time to time on this length of putt. So I think you want to keep the same kind of mentality in that, like, you're still trying to hold a putt, but you obviously are trying to also have the shortest possible second putt. So I think the only thing that would change for me on a putt this length, you're obviously still hitting a lot of, you know, you talked about before practice putts. Like my practice putts, I'm still out here looking at the hole, really getting a feel of how hard I need to hit it. But I think the most important thing is you don't want to accelerate or decelerate the putter. It's almost like you take it to the top of the backswing and then you just let it go.
So again, going back to your grandfather clock analogy before, you never want a putter going back slowly and then speeding up.
Correct.
And you never want one going back fast and then slowing down. You want that kind of rhythm all the time. And I'm guessing then for you, just the stroke gets longer.
Correct. That's all you want to think. So the longer you want to hit this putt, you know, if you want to go and hit it to the training drill another 15 feet by, it's all about just a length of stroke. That's all you got to worry about. It's not a hit it harder, hit it softer, or, you know, anything like that. You just want rhythm.
And if you were to hear now, again, speed is still a massive priority on a putt like of this length. How much are you reading into left to right more than uphill or downhill?
I think you're going to get the most bang for buck out of length rather than, you know, left or right. If we were to hit this putt 3 feet left of the hole line wise, if it's, you know, the difference between another 3 feet up and down that line, and it's a very similar tap in. So you want to kind of get.
So you think up and downhill is more important?
I think so. Yeah. I think you want to get your speed pretty bang on.
So this is slightly uphill.
Slightly uphill. Yeah. I'm going to say a little left to right.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't even look that much into this. Like you want to just feel like you get this speed-wise as close as you can. So
come on, let's finish. You versus me. This final little putt. I'll hit the other ball. Let's see who can get closest from here.
Go, go. I feel like it was into the wind a little bit.
If you were to give that a score out of 10?
It's a 7. I think anything 8 or above, you're sort of knocking it in without having to reline it up. But that one, we've got to mark and read that one, so it's pretty straight up there, Rick.
Yeah, it is.
Didn't really move left to right.
I do line mine up.
You line it up?
Yeah, but I'm very much in that camp of looking at the hole, doing a practice putt.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. Everyone does it differently. You should get inside that, by the way. That's nice. I like that rhythm there.
I don't think it's there.
It's going to be close.
I don't think it's there.
I think you... honestly, it's going to be a measure.
We're going to have to knock these two in. So, things that we've picked up there from Lucas, I think there's a couple of really, really key points. First off, no, you've got me. The first one is, do the hard work. I know it sounds like a daft thing to say, but putting practice can be done at home, can be done on a local putting green, like it can be done on a carpet. Like if you can get the stroke working and working for you, and that clock drill that Lucas was talking about before, where you have 6 o'clock as straight, 12 o'clock as straight, it's put me under the pressure now. Then you have all the other numbers, the 1, 2, 3, round to 6, and on the other side. When you look at a putt like this now, is this pretty much 6 o'clock, would you say, the position?
It looked pretty close, didn't it? Yours maybe broke a little left to right on the way up. So now we're probably pretty much bang on this straight putt.
6 would be there, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're really close to it. I mean, it's kind of now up to your own personal preference. If you think this is a little left to right, you can aim it just left to center. If you think it's a little right to left, just right to center. It should go in either way.
And again, I think one of the big things you've said today, which I think you underestimated because you said it so flippantly, is that aim small. Like you picked a spot in that hole, and that's what you aim for.
Yeah.
And I think not enough golfers do that potentially as well.
I'm going to throw one thing in late here that I maybe haven't mentioned. I would say from this length, the big thing that a lot of people would do is try and hit this in too hard. I actually think you want to almost feel like it dies in the hole a little bit. Geez, that broke a lot right to left, didn't it?
That's my slight issue in my putter at the moment. I was chatting to your putting coach before, and he said you actually sit it 1 degree open at address.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
And at the moment,
as long as you're consistent with the way you square it up. That's breaking a lot more than we gave that credit for.
Well, there you go. Putting's hard. But practice it, work hard. Some unbelievable tips there from Lucas, and I can't. If you were to Cam's not here right now, are you gonna top him at the end of the season putting stats? You average 1.55 per green, and he's at 1.53 currently. So it's close.
I mean, if I do top him towards the end of the season, then I'm going to have a very good end of season, I think. So I'm going to say yes. I feel like I'm coming into some form. I think too, the next 4 events are on greens that I kind of like. You know, for me, I like Bermuda, or I like no grain bent greens. When the bent greens get a bit of grain in them, that's where I'm a bit sketchy on how to read them. So I think we're coming into some events now where we've got no grain in the bent, and that's what I grew up on. So I feel very at home with them, and hopefully I can take down Cameron.
Well, your teammates as well.
True.
But also, you want to beat him. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, check out Lucas and the Ripper GC, and good luck. Go and kill it in the pro.
Thank you, mate.
Good luck at JCB this week.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, I can't believe I 3-putted it after all that.